Still at the SEM for SMB show down in Austin, Texas. And we've got a local marketing blogger, B2B marketer person, Leanne Wallace, who's with us from, she comes from ReachForce, and she also is a blogger with the blog called The B2B Lead. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about the blog that you write for?
So they're actually connected. The B2B Lead is sponsored by ReachForce, the company that I do marketing for, and I'm sort of lucky enough to be marketing to marketers. So our blog is sales and marketing tips, more focused on sales, more focused on marketing tips. And basically it's a resource for marketers to go to. We have about 4 different bloggers who kind of have a vast range of experiences, who, I'm coming from sort of a beginner marketer and seeing things for the first time, and really seeing the evolution of marketing, going from seeing how some of those traditional tactics are working, and then how sort of the new media, social media, online marketing. I'm the resident blogger, or the blog master, as my boss calls me, with much dismay from myself. And so I kind of have a different perspective than, say, our CEO, who's he was a VP of marketing and has been in the business for 20 years, so he has a completely different perspective than I do. And so it's just a place for all of us as people who are in the game and in the trenches, sort of sharing our stories and sharing things that we've picked up at conferences like this or whatnot, and sort of helping our customers and prospects and other marketers out there, all B2B marketers, to be better at their jobs.
So one of the things we hear a lot from people that are thinking about blogging is, well, what domain do I put my blog on? And I always tell them that there's a few choices. One is you can put it on a free service, so your blog can be like yourcompany.blogspot.com or yourcompany.wordpress.org. Both of those are really, really bad ideas. So just trust me on that. You want your blog on a domain that you own and control. Now, that still leaves like a couple choices though. So it can be on your own website, like ours is blog.hubspot.com, right? But you guys elected to, and ours actually used to be on a different domain and we moved it, but you guys have it on a separate domain. It's the B2B Lead. So talk about some of the reasons why you did that, why you think that's a good idea, because I think both have a lot of merit.
We originally had our blog, when we very first started out, we're still kind of experimenting, just dipping our toe into the water, had it sort of as a subfolder or subdomain of our, it was reachforce.com/blog, I think, or something like that. And we decided we did want it to have sort of its own presence and its own brand to some extent. And so we created the b2blead.com. We've had some challenges with that because you are sort of now having to build 2 different brands. So I'm having to build the ReachForce brand while I'm building the B2B Lead brand, trying to, some people are really regular readers of the blog and don't even know that it's connected to ReachForce. So, I mean, that in and of itself has advantages and disadvantages that, we're really hopefully putting ourselves out there as being thought leaders. And so I think that we definitely individually probably are able to push ourselves. One of our customers, Pam O'Neill, is one of our bloggers. And so I think that, it really helps her be known in the community as being a blogger, but not necessarily as being, related to ReachForce at all. And I find myself really oddly, people identify me at conferences as being a blogger for the B2B Lead, and I'm not used to having any sort of status of people knowing who I am that I've never met before. So I feel as though being thought leaders in the community, it's really helped us, and I think that should translate into more things like speaking opportunities and really helping promote, which will then, once we sort of promote, all of us who are bloggers, which is myself, CEO of our company, Swad Sate, and then our director of marketing, Amy Hawthorne, along with one of our customers, to really help us extend our individual brands, which will then extend itself to the ReachForce brand. And then we do have, places we're able to, some of the advantages are that we can link to our actual site, and we're a different URL, so we're a different domain, which that helps a little bit with the link building. But also, I think the biggest thing is probably we're able to separate ourselves we're sort of showing. This isn't all about ReachForce. This isn't us trying to sell ReachForce. This is us trying to go out into the community and really help educate marketers and really help marketers be better at their job, because that's really our ultimate goal at ReachForce. Even though we obviously want to make money and have products to sell, our ultimate goal is in all of our products and everything that we do is to help marketers be better at their jobs.
I think it's a really, really important point that you bring up. So no matter what domain your blog is on, whether it's as you guys started out, or how we're doing right now at Hubspot, like part of your corporate site, or if it's something that's more independent, either way, a blog is not like a sales closing tool.
Right.
A blog is a great way to sort of begin a relationship, start a discussion. It's great for SEO purposes. It's really good in terms of helpful being for social media as well. It's great to sort of stimulate conversations with prospects, nurture prospects. We use the content on our blog a lot as part of our lead nurturing program, and sending people emails that link to a series of blog articles that are on the topic that they're most interested in. So if it's somebody that they're interested in social media, we have blog articles about that and sort of using it in that way. So I think it's really important for everyone, no matter what domain your blog is on, don't sell, it's not a sales pitch. Right? I think that's really important. What are some of the things that you've been blogging for a while now, your company's been blogging for a while now as well. What are some of the things, other pieces of advice besides, don't pitch, would you give to people about how to sort of be successful in terms of blogging? Like, what do you do on a daily basis now that you've had some experience with it and started to have some success?
I think one thing is being relevant always to your audience. We are really all about helping, like I said, marketers be better at their job. So we're trying to find the latest and greatest and new things that we find. When we found press release creator from HubSpot, we wanted to put that out there so that our readers knew about that as well. And having great content goes in with that as well. Posting frequently, I think that readers in the blog world, people expect it, and I've seen some bloggers suggest that you only need to blog like once every couple of weeks. I mean, I try and blog every day, or at least someone from my company blogs every day, and that really helps keep our readers engaged. They know that there's going to be fresh content, which everybody that seems to be one of the things that Google's in love with these days. So that always helps as well. Something that I've found that helps me in my day-to-day as being a marketer is that I repurpose my content from our blog. So not everybody is comfortable with, not everybody likes getting their information that way. So I try and sort of disseminate the information every way I can. So I take sort of our top, blog post for the month and then send that out as a ReachForce newsletter. So that sort of reinforces also the two brands working together, and also some people who may not have gotten that content will now be delivered that content in their inbox, which is something that they're more comfortable with and has links back to the blog where hopefully they'll search around and find other things that are helpful. So, I don't, even though I'm unfortunately known as the blog master at work, I don't know that there is a secret to being super successful. I think the biggest thing is knowing your audience and creating content that really that's really valuable to your readers, or your people who you want to be readers. And they'll find you, and other bloggers will find you, and link back. It's all about if you have the quality content out there, it's going to get disseminated. It's going to get picked up.
Yeah, I think that's really true. I think you want to think about who your target audience is, and even develop like a persona.
Yeah.
Give them a name and talk about who they are and what things they like and what things they don't like, and then talk to them as much as possible. I mean, if you're a business owner or a marketer, like who your customer is, and you've talked to a lot of them, you've met a lot of them, you should have some understanding of what content is going to be interesting to them, what questions do they ask you very frequently, things like that. And then you're right, so it's like know that persona and then develop content targeted toward that persona. And then, there's a lot of other things you can do in terms of promotion or whatever, but that's really the core. It's really a lot of it's about the content. So in any event, you can check out a whole bunch more information both at reachforce.com and then also at the blog at the B2B Lead. And we'll see everybody soon.